Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Ria and today I'm going to take you through the astrology for the week of Feb 7th to Feb 13th, 2022. So let's get started. Now for this video, I'm going to give you a brief background of the energies that we're entering the week with. Then I'm going to talk about the highlights of this week, the important events, and then I'm going to sum up the week's energies for you. And towards the end of the video, I will pull a few cards for the week's energies. I'm not going to break down the energy for each day of the week because I don't think many of you watch that, and I want to keep it simple and understandable, so I will do that for this video. So let's get started. Now, coming into this week, we have all energies direct, right? We have Uranus, Chiron, Neptune, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, Mercury, Venus, Mars, all forward moving. Till last week, this wasn't the case. Till Jan 29th, Venus here was retrograde, right? And Venus retrogrades are a period of review for our relationships and projects. So since the beginning of this year, Venus was in retrograde till Jan 29th. And since Jan 29th, the forward movement connected to relationships and projects started again. But Mercury went retrograde midway through Jan 14th, and it was retrograde till Feb 3rd. So till last Thursday, right, it was retrograde. And Mercury retrogrades are a period of review for our day-to-day, for our communication and thinking. And when planets are retrograde, right, new things are not the best to start, right? It's more about reviewing past things, reviewing past projects, reviewing things. It's not about beginning new things. So the beginning of the year, up until this week, I would say, was about review. It was about revisiting old things, past things. But this week is different. This week, there's a lot of forward movement. There's a lot of forward moving energies. And what that means is that the universe is supporting us to take action, to start new things, to make changes, which we might have not done since the beginning of the year, right? Now is the time to do those things, to go after what you want. And that's also because Mars here is in Capricorn, right? Mars in Capricorn gives us the willpower, the drive, the initiative to make things happen. So there's a lot of energy supporting us this week to go after what we want, to make things happen. So with all planets direct, this is the first week of the year where there's really the potential to move forward and go after what you want. Now let's talk about the new moon in Aquarius, which happened last week, right? Depending on your location, that was Jan 31st or Feb 1st, last Monday, Tuesday. Around then, we had a new moon in Aquarius. Now this new moon was at 12 degrees of Aquarius, right here. And it was in a square to Uranus, 90-degree angle, and it was very close to Saturn. So what this new moon meant was there was a new energy, there was a seeding point of something new that could have happened quite suddenly with an insight or an epiphany, but it required us to make decisions or commitments or simply act from a mature place, Saturn, right? So while there was this energy to move forward and get things done, there could have been a feeling of feeling slightly restricted and limited. But we should not approach this restriction or limitation as a restriction or limitation. It's more an energy asking us to mature, right? Saturn wants us to work hard, be disciplined and mature. So this is that energy where there is forward movement, but it will require hard work. It can require decisions and commitments, and it can require maturity from our side. So this is the week that we're entering the week with that new moon in Aquarius energy, which is about being mature, working hard, making commitments, taking decisions. And we can also be receiving insights, epiphanies, and realizations at the same time. So this is that energy. So that's how we enter the week, right? We enter the week with a lot of forward moving energies to really make things happen. Mars in Capricorn, to really make things happen and go after what you want. And an energy that is saying, work from a mature place. Yes, you might get sudden ideas, you might get insights, you might get epiphanies, you might want to make changes, but work with the limitations, work with the restrictions, work from a place of maturity. And through this process, there's healing, because that new moon was in a sextile with Chiron. So that's the background that we're entering the week with. Now for this week, there are two important events that happen on Tuesday, right? We have the first quarter square of the moon on Tuesday, where the sun and the moon make their first 90-degree angle after the new moon. So starting Tuesday, the energy will be a lot about making certain changes, overcoming little obstacles, right? Overcoming little challenges connected to the new beginning, the new energy, the seeding point, so to speak, that started for us last week, Monday or Tuesday, depending on your location, with the new moon in Aquarius. So the whole week's energy is about making adjustments and changes. Now, on the same day, we have Uranus here trining Mars, right? They are going to try and make a positive aspect. And Mars is the planet of our drive, of taking action, of getting things done. And Uranus is a very sudden energy. It's an unexpected energy. It's insights, it's epiphanies, it's raising our vibration and consciousness. Uranus rules electricity, right? So it's a lot of electrifying energy, so to speak. And when these two planets make a positive aspect like this, we are supercharged to be able to go after what we want and make things happen, right? The planet that rules electricity is making a positive aspect with our drive, with taking action. So there's immense energy to really go after what you want. And with Mars and Capricorn, you can really go after what you want and make things happen. So this energy is just basically a boost to the drive, to the initiative, to the courage to be able to go after what you want and make things happen. And that happens on Tuesday, but it's a build up, right? We'll begin to feel it slowly. It will peak on Tuesday, then slowly it will start to go down, that boost, so to speak. So that happens on Tuesday as well. And then moving on to Friday. Friday, we have three important things. Now, the first is that on Friday, Mercury here will meet up with Pluto and trine the North Node, right? So let's break this energy down. Mercury here is the planet of our day-to-day, of our lifestyle, job, health, communication, right? And now it's met up with the planet of transformation and change and endings. So this is the third time Mercury is meeting up with Pluto since its retrograde began, right? A little before its retrograde. But what this means is that since Jan 14th, or even a little bit before that, we began to review our Mercury things: communication, thinking, social media, day-to-day routine, lifestyle, health, job. All these things were under review. And the review process was with the mindset of transforming these Mercury things, right? So now that Mercury is meeting up with Pluto for the third and final time, we will find that clarity on how to transform our Mercury things, how to transform our routine, our day-to-day, our lifestyle, our job, our health, all Mercury rule things, our communication. So that happens on Friday, and on the same day, Mercury here will trine the North Node. The North Node, Rahu, is our goals. It's the future, and this is a positive aspect, right? So as we get clarity on how we need to transform our diet, routine, health, job, communication, thinking, social media, the changes will align with the future, with where we are headed. So the transformation needs to align, and it will, because it's a positive aspect. It will happen automatically without much stress. But another thing I would like to mention is that Mercury is our logical mind, right? And Pluto, although it is the planet of transformation and catharsis and healing and all those things, Pluto energy feels heavy. So Mercury is hanging around with Pluto, right? It will hang around close to Pluto, which means it's absorbing that heaviness, which means that at some level we might also feel a certain heaviness within us, right? And Mercury is moving forward now. Soon it will move past Pluto. So this is temporary, but there is that background energy, that underlying energy of things feeling slightly heavy. So just be mindful of that. Pluto brings about a lot of change, but it can feel heavy. So I just thought I'd let you know. And those are the two important things that happen on Friday. Mercury meeting up with Pluto right here and Mercury trining the North Node. The third and the final thing that happens on Friday, which is important, is Mars here is going to hit 13 degrees on that day, right? So starting Friday into maybe Saturday and even Sunday, depending on how long Mars stays at the 13-degree spot, we will maybe release something connected to 2020. So let me explain this a little bit. In July, on July 5th, 2020, we had a lunar eclipse at 13 degrees of Capricorn. Okay, and that lunar eclipse was an intense one. And Mars, when it goes over an eclipse spot, it releases that energy. So when Mars hits 13 degrees starting Friday of this week, we will begin to release that eclipse energy that has been with us since July 5th, 2020, because Mars was in Capricorn around March of 2020. Since then, it has not been in the sign of Capricorn. So that's another important thing that starts happening on Friday. And that's pretty much it for this week. Now, next week, there are a few highlights that I'll mention real quick. So let me do that now. The first is that Pluto here will trine the North Node next week. We'll talk about that. Mercury will move into the sign of Aquarius. And we also have a powerful full moon in Leo, right? And that is a powerful full moon. And I will talk about that in my full moon video. So that's also happening next week, and the sun is going to leave Aquarius where it does not like to be and enter the sign of Pisces next week. So a lot happening in the astrology, and to sum it up, I would say that this week it's all about making changes, it's all about making adjustments. There's a lot of energy to go after what you want and make things happen. And some of us might be releasing something connected to July 5th that began for us back then. We might be releasing things associated with that lunar eclipse that happened back then. And that pretty much sums up the week. And now I will pull a few cards for this week's energy and then we'll close it out. It says success. And I think this card is saying that go after what you want, right? Don't be scared. Don't be scared of failure. Because until we try, until we really go after what we want, we can't be successful at it. You know, in college, one of my professors used to say that, Ria, if you don't ask, it's a no. And that stuck with me. So whenever I want something, I always ask now. I would never ask. I would just not ask, and I would think the other person knows, or I will get whatever I want without asking for it. But when he said that, I realized that no, you have to ask for things. If it's a no, great. If it's a yes, awesome, right? So go after what you want. Don't stop your success by not going for what you want. Go after it. Only then you will know, right? So I think that's the first card. Let's go with the same deck. Action. This week is about action, right? All energies are forward moving. These are the 3 months, Feb, March, April, where it's really time to seed new things, start new things. The rest of the year, all like slowly, one by one, all the planets will go retrograde again, which means more about working on things we've already started. But now, this week onwards, we must take action. We must do things. Review is over, right? Thinking is over. Reprocessing is over. Now it's about doing. Mars in Capricorn, trine Uranus in Taurus. So much fuel to get things done. Power. You have the power. You have the potential. The universe is supporting you this week. So go after it, right? Go after what you want. Don't be afraid of your own power, right? Don't be afraid of it. See all that you can do, because the universe is supporting us this week. Let's go with one more. 3 cards flipped. Okay, so I'm going to go with these. It says loneliness. I know that I'm never alone, right? And I think this card is very important, right? Because it has not been the most social time for all of us. And in that zone that we've all been in for the past year and a half, 2 years, we could have felt lonely, but we are not lonely, right? We're not lonely. So I think this week is a reminder, because the sun is in Aquarius. We are in the new moon in Aquarius energy, and Aquarius is the sign of social isolation in a way. I'm not saying if you're Aquarius, you're these things. I'm just saying that Aquarius energy rules social isolation. So maybe because there's so much Aquarius right now, well, the sun is there and Saturn is there. So maybe realize that you're never alone. Indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So that new moon energy, the new moon in Aquarius, might require us to decide things, right? Might require us to make commitments. So maybe this is urging us to go with that, right? It's saying if you can't decide logically, maybe use your intuition. Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So this energy is about being creative and spiritual. And to me, this is Pisces. And we have Neptune in Pisces. We have Jupiter in Pisces. Neptune rules Pisces. Jupiter used to rule Pisces. So a lot of Piscean energy in Pisces is creativity. So maybe this is also trying to say that through creativity, through imagination, we might be able to overcome any restriction or limitation that we are feeling, right? That's getting in the way for this new seeding point, for this new beginning, the new moon in Aquarius. Let me go with one more and then we'll close it out. Says no place like home, and I think this is also reminding us to maybe find our own comfort, right? What is your place of comfort? We must go there and find that. So to sum it up, I would say that if there was one card I would choose for this week, it's action. Go after what you want, right? Go after it. There's a lot of power supporting us. We have the power to move forward, and who knows, right? Moving forward, taking action, getting things done might lead to success. And in that, we must not lose sight of our comfort. And I think these cards are reminding us that you're never alone. Be imaginative, be creative, right? And use your intuition to decide things. So that's pretty much it for this week. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Bye.